I haven't been to a full week of school in years. I don't know shit.
Hi, I'm Nick, and as you can probably assume, this is another amazing top 10 video. Let's go. Here we go. You already know. I'm going to try and do at least one of these videos every month or two, as long as I feel passionate enough about a subject to rank its aspects. And right now, MultiVersus has damn near every bit of my attention. Odds are, if I'm not at college or hanging out with the Nick's Game Room crew or working on a video, I'm playing it religiously, at least so I can get those daily challenges in. And this video gives me an excuse to play it again. More views and more Battle Pass rewards. What fun. Now obviously one of the main draws that this game has is the great roster of characters and the possibilities it holds. It's reasons like this why I like it a lot more than Smash. Now don't get me wrong, Smash is good, but I don't feel like I have a character in there that I'm truly, that I truly have fun playing as. Like, you'd think that having my favorite Pokemon in the entire world as a fighter would make me love playing as them, but no, I don't feel super close with the Smash characters in that game specifically. Now, in MultiVersus, there are so many characters that I have fun playing, damn near half the roster. I can start off the day playing Steven, and once I'm a bit bored of him, I can switch right to Iron Giant. Oh, my teammate's already being a tank. Sure, I'll play Bugs. Ooh, cool, I need to play a support character real quick for my daily challenges. Let me get some more Gizmo dubs. I love all of the characters I just mentioned, and the movies and shows they originate from, but like most other people, I think there are always those dudes from our favorite properties that we would do nearly anything to fight as. So, here are my top 10 characters I want to kick Velma's skull in with. Let's go over the rules. This is not a definitive list on the characters that should get in, just the ones that I want specifically. So when your favorite character isn't on the list, don't get your panties in a wad. I'm also going to avoid talking about any characters that have basically been confirmed due to data mining, because, they're basically already in there. And I think that's everything. Oh, and if you like what you see, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I want 1,000 subscribers, and you guys want Hunger Games Part 2, so it's a win-win. And if you have any game requests, list requests, or any kind of requests at all, leave them in the comments below, and I'll see what I can do. Now let's get right to it.
You want to end the show with a to-be-continued meme? I don't even know what that is.
Look, I know everyone has their meme picks for Smash, like, Shrek, SpongeBob, Goku, that shit. Now look at Fortnite. They've got Goku there now. You know who else is in Fortnite? Rick. This links Goku to the multiverse of verses already, but Goku is also in Jump Force, and you know who else is in Jump Force? Jotaro's Bizarre Adventure, baby! I know Warner Brothers kind of owns JoJo already, but now I can put Goku in the thumbnail, so. Now, I don't know much about JoJo. I've only seen the first season, I think. The seasons are laid out really stupidly. But I know who Jotaro is, the iconic one. So let's get him in that shit. Although I haven't seen much with this dude in it, I have suffered through a bit of Jump Force and played him a lot with Frieza and the Yu-Gi-Oh guy, so for the sake of this video, let's just take his moveset from that, because otherwise I have no goddamn ideas. He can, Aura with his purple guy stand, I think. For alternate costumes, the whole premise of the show is traveling through the Joestar bloodline, so let's get all of his predecessors and offspring in there. And Dio, because f*** it. Funny. Onward to the things that I'm actually knowledgeable of.
Would you?
Would I?
Would you?
Would I?
Would you want Chowder in this game? Would I want Chowder in this game? Chowder is awesome! Chowder is my third favorite Cartoon Network show of all time. You will find out in my first and second or later in the video. It has some of the most unique writing and style I've ever seen in any show. I've seen every episode at least 3 times, and I've grown to love Mung's crew so friggin' much, so I think Chowder would fit right in. Another factor that gives him the advantage above damn near everybody else on this list is that his moveset is already done. What the f*** do I mean, you ask? Well, do you guys remember a little game called Cartoon Network Punch Time Explosion? Because I sure as hell do. This was an early Smash clone made before it was cool to copy Nintendo. Its roster consisted of characters from all across the Cartoon Network timeline before 2011, and Chowder was one of the flagship characters. Well, more so Chowder and Kimchi, his pet fart. Peak comedy right there, right? His moves in the game consisted of things like licking, Kirby sucking, and throwing Kimchi, but that's basically it. The game wasn't too creative when it came to his moves, unlike the MultiVersus devs. He could throw his poisonous Burple Nurples, shrink with the Cinnamon Mini Powder, breathe fire, and he even has Bugs' ability to manipulate the plot, as discussed in the Hunger Games But Stupid Part 1 video, meaning he can break the fourth wall and change any outcome in his favor. He can still have Kimchi as part of his kit, but I'd love some more food-related moves, since that's like the whole point of the show. Cooking. For skins, there aren't too many cool options, but he was often naked, so that could be something, or his apple costume from the dinner theater episode, and I'd love to see adult Chowder, but, hitboxes. Alright, let's see what's cooking up next on the list.
Greetings, Portal Master.
A lot of people are asking for some video game characters in here, and I'm no different. Obviously, Scorpion would be badass, and Maxwell would be cool, but since they're both owned by Warner Brothers, those picks are too easy for such a well-made and unique video like mine. Others want characters like Sonic, but he's already in Smash. Just because he has a punch-time explosion Chowder moveset doesn't mean putting him in a different game is likely or a good idea. It doesn't matter if he was in LEGO Dimensions or not, I doubt he's even being thought about. Speaking of LEGO Dimensions, Sonic was not the only video game character in there. That's right, Gamer Kid! Nah, I'm just playing. Chell from Portal would be sick. I recently played through Portal, and I'm currently playing through Portal 2 for the first time thanks to the companion collection on the Switch, and they're super fun and really make your brain work. Obviously, most of her moves will revolve around the portal gun, giving Rick, and Morty a run for their money. She could chuck some companion cubes, maybe plant some turrets, and get some of that blue goo to jump really high. That'd be pretty cool. Skins are... a single skin, I should say, could be her with and without the orange jumpsuit. There's nothing else it could be. I think unless she has a Super Saiyan form at the end of the second game, or Portal 3 exists at the time that she comes out, but that'll never happen. Next.
What would you like to eat, Godzilla? Yes, what would you like to eat, Godzilla?
The champion returns to the ring. I know King Kong is already owned by Warner Brothers, but the MonsterVerse is too, so let's get Godzilla in here, because he's much cooler than a friggin' gorilla. Smash already has that. I love the different sizes of characters in MultiVersus, except for Gizmo. Why is he 4 feet tall? But the size of the Iron Giant astounded me when he was announced, and it would truly be a wasted opportunity not to make more giant characters. Godzilla is one of the first dudes that comes to mind due to how friggin' iconic he is. He's been around longer than most of the characters in the game already, and is known throughout the world from his Japanese plethora of films as well as the most recent ones from the aforementioned MonsterVerse. He's so iconic, he's had 10 fighting games just for himself, so he's experienced. He can use his signature Super Mega Blue Fire Blast Ultra Instinct Beam, because of course, and he can slash and stomp and tail whip his enemies just like Japanese victims in their residences, and Godzilla has probably some of the best opportunities for skins. He could have his classic goofy appearance, his modern design, Shin Godzilla, Godzilla 95, God forbid Godzilla 98. Hell, throw in Mecha Godzilla. Iron Giant is fun enough to fight and fight as, so let's get him a worthy adversary to get nerfed consistently alongside him.
Let's just hop on a bus and live somewhere else without telling anyone.
That's a great idea!
We all know who Steven Universe is, right? He's in the game. But a lot of people hate the actual show, say it's stupid and just about a bunch of gay rocks. Now, I used to be one of these people. Then, over the summer, me and Abby had an agreement that if I watched all of Steven Universe, she'd watch a certain show that I really like. Sure, Steven Universe may be a show about a bunch of gay rocks, but God, is it fantastic. I watched literally everything from the main series to the movie up until its end with Futures, and I can proudly say that I enjoyed 90% of it wholeheartedly. It is now my second favorite Cartoon Network show of all time, and I totally want another character in the game, regardless of how much everyone else would hate it. But I don't want some basic character. No Pearl, no Amethyst, no gay rocks. But let's get a normie in there. Let's get Connie in this bitch. She was one of my favorite characters in the show and loved her chemistry with Steven, especially when she rejected his dumbass marriage proposal. I can see her now. She can ride on top of Lion, wielding Rose Quartz's sword as she rushes into the fray, commanding Lion to maul Shaggy's cock off. One thing I always thought would be a fun concept in this game is synergy attacks. If two certain characters are on a team, right? They could perform a special cooperative move, maybe I don't know, the Jake suit, for example, with Finn and Jake. I mean, why else would damn near every character have what seems to be a duos partner? How cool would it be if Connie and Steven could fuse into Stevani? They could, drive a car! Hopefully she'll get in and add to the small list of characters 95% of people don't know or give a shit about.
Hey, guys! Guess what I am? Vice President of Industrial Procurement!
The variety of characters offered in this game is great, especially when you consider the history so many characters have. I love how there are just as many characters that first appeared in the mid-20th century as there are ones introduced in the past 10 years. As if kids don't know who Bugs Bunny and Batman are, but still, it makes everyone feel connected to the game via the great cast, let you be 6 years old or 60. But there are plenty of other iconic 60-year-olds that should be in this game. Fred Flintstone, bruh, everyone knows who this dude is. He led one of the flagship shows in the animated sitcom genre. We wouldn't have Family Guy without this modern Stone Age bastard. Think of the possibilities with this guy. His side special could be him charging up his steamroller car from 0 to 60 in 200 footsteps. His down special could be aiming his bowling ball to get a rain dog strike. His up special could be getting thrown up into the air by his friggin' cat. And for his neutral special, he could chuck friggin' Fruity Pebbles. I would die a happy man if I could go online as Fred Flintstone and chuck Fruity Pebbles at LeBron James's huge beard in a video game. His skins could range from his bowling getup, his water buffalo hat, and I don't know, his John Goodman promotion cheating on his wife suit. Sure, why not? He's definitely one of the most likely characters to get in the game, so let's see if it comes into fruition or not.
You're a big meanie.
What?
You're a meaner.
Looney Tunes! Who doesn't love them? Everyone has seen at least one of these cartoons in their lives. Bugs outwitting Elmer Fudd trying not to get his wabbit brains blown out. Daffy antagonizing Porky during whatever venture they're attempting. Sylvester getting killed by a friggin' bird. Damn, these things are violent. But God, they're hilarious. So many people want more tunes in the game on top of the 3 we already have, me included. But I don't want Daffy, he'd be too similar to Bugs. And Elmer, what's he gonna do? Shoot for all of his attacks? Wile E. Coyote has so much friggin' potential here. This dude is a born fighter. This dude has more dedication in his left pinky toe than anyone else does in their whole body. The amount of shit that he goes through just to have a bite of that Roadrunner is inspiring. There are so many gadgets he has at his disposal. He could paint holes in the stage that only his enemies could fall through. He could place birdseed traps. He could use rocket skates, catapults, cloning machines, bombs, flight suits, damn near anything that he can afford from Acme. Oh, hear me out. One thing I would absolutely adore that everyone else would hate. I had this idea literally minutes after the game was announced. What if they went the Pichu route with Wile? Every move that involves a gadget damages him in some way. It would piss players off, but it would be hysterical and super faithful to the source material. Like the rest of the Toon Squad, he could have his basketball jersey as one of his skins, and maybe even Ralph as an alt. I mean, it'd be pretty easy palette swap. Maybe his Mad Max attire and the Cyborg Funko Pop, whatever, screw the skins.
Above the St. Regis tea kettle, yes. And then she sat on a turtle.
When he was first baptized, when he was criticized, when he was ostracized, when he was jazzercised, steak and kidney pies, 1 hour martinized, when he was circumcised, his daddy wasn't there. But maybe he will be to see his son get into MultiVersus. Yeah, baby, that's right. Let's make MultiVersus shagadelic with Austin Powers. I grew up watching these movies with my dad, and they are still some of my favorites due to how funny and nonsensical they are. And hey, he was in Space Jam 2, so he's obviously still relevant. Now, Austin doesn't have that much canonically when it comes to moveset potential, so let's get a bit creative. He has hella aim with his little pistol, and he's a master martial artist, so he could definitely hold his own in hand-to-hand combat. But let's not forget about what makes Austin Powers, his mojo. This is what makes him irresistible to everyone he glances at, mortal or not. He can use that charm to put his enemies in a trance, like how Bugs does. This could also maybe attract a fembot to fight by his side, similar to Watermelon Steven maybe. He could have a command grab with his Swedish-made penis enlarger pump, maybe even being a tether grab recovery, and all the movies have something to do with time travel, so why not incorporate that in there somewhere too? Bro, I can already see this being his spot dodge. I would lose my shit. Skins, obviously, Dr. Evil needs to be here too. Replace the fembot with Mini-Me. A genius I am. And Austin goes through plenty of outfits throughout the trilogy, so there's plenty to work with in that area. Okay, let's move on to number 2. Or actually, the last 2 characters at the same time, Austin Powers transition.
Meet Thing 2 and Thing 1!
The day MultiVersus was announced, I already knew the 2 characters I wanted most. 2 characters that I grew up with, who I laughed with, who I cried with. My favorite Cartoon Network show? No. Favorite show of all time? You all know the theme song. Yeah, Mordecai and Rigby need to be in this game. Regular Show and Adventure Time began around the same time and started what I see as Cartoon Network's golden era. So if Finn and Jake can get in, why can't Mordecai and the Rigbys? I've thought a lot about if they should be together as a single character or separate. If they were together, they could have some pretty cool moves like putting the hurt on their opponents, but I cannot pass up the opportunity to squad up online with a friend as Mordecai and Rigby fighting Finn and Jake. Maybe it could be a synergy move, I don't know. They would likely have some similar moves though. Both Mordecai and Rigby are masters in the art of Death Kwon Do. Rigby could use it mainly for attacking with his Death Punch, while Mordecai could use it defensively with the Death Block and the Death Jump. Or maybe even the Death Dump. I don't know. Remember that old phone app, Night Marathon? It was based on the episode where the park gang fought off the zombies during the graveyard movie screening. Let's take some inspiration from this. Mordecai could have Muscle Man's discus as throwing projectiles, and Rigby could even use the javelin as some sort of charge attack. It could even be like Velma's side special, as it could carry enemies that are impaled. It's rated T, they can get away with it. Arya stabs people. Okay, let's focus more on Mordecai now. One thing that would be funny to me is if he threw his explosive Blondikai ring as a detonatable projectile. He also becomes a famous artist in the future, so he could have some sort of status effect that involves painting. Trash Boat is a bit easier because, you know, he's the cause of a lot of their adventures. He could use the power for countless things. He could stun enemies, give them status effects, disable cooldowns, maybe even spawn items like how Bugs can do with his crouch. Baby ducks, maybe? Rigby also has his own f***ing time machine, which could be used again for many things. He can lift things with his back and throw them, giving him yet another command grab. And I swear to God, his down special in the air has to be Rigby in the sky with Burrito dive bombing into the ground. And it is a requirement, for me, that this is his taunt. God, there are so many possibilities for these characters. Hell, you could give any of the gang a full moveset. Throw Benson in here too. His final smash could be his Ultra Instinct Scream. Seriously though, I would love if they got in. And honestly, they have the best chance out of anybody else on this list. The developers have even expressed how much they want regular show representation. We can only hope. You know who else can only hope? My mom. MultiVersus may still be fresh out of the womb, but I can tell it is going to live on for a long time, with countless characters being added constantly. I mean, we're getting one consistently every 2 weeks right now. The guys over at Player First Games are working their asses off for us. So hopefully the game will live on long enough for all of us to get our most wanted characters. Thank you guys so much for watching the newest episode of Nick's Game Room, and I hope you enjoyed it just as much as I enjoyed making it. And please, share your most wanted characters in the comments below. I'd love to read them and discuss possibilities. I'm always active in the comments section.
You know who else is always active in her comment section? My mom!